Hashtag stop Galamsey now.
So let the water flow. I will speak to him directly. President John Dramani Mahama. Yellow blood do.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. It's live on Joy 99.7 FM. It's 103.9 FM in Accra. We're also live on Love 99.5 in Kumasi, myjoyonline.com and affiliates in all 16 regions of Ghana, including Shine, Ina Kachik, Bewa Radio Yendi, A1 Radio Bolgatanga, Red Sky FM Sunyani and Radio Max Takradi. Also live on X Spaces, Facebook and YouTube. This afternoon, Dr. Bawumia to lead post-primary reconciliation after all four other aspirants commit to unity but demand mutual respect.
The flag bearer would take the lead in getting everybody together and present one face to the country. That's what's going to happen.
Meanwhile, minority leader shoots down allegations he influenced constituents to vote Kennedy Japong ahead of Dr. Bawumia, describing the allegations as false and a deliberate distortion of facts. We have details plus analysis of the photo votes and regional breakdown of Dr. Bawumia's performance in sports.
Today marks 1 year since the death of Kotoko supporter Nana Pole, as the case still lingers in court.
And Vice President to soon present the structure and objectives of the Women's Development Bank to Cabinet. As President Mahama says, plans for its establishment are far advanced.
And they've made progress, and she hinted me that they'll soon be bringing a presentation to Cabinet to explain the structure and the objectives of the bank. This bank is going to help women.
We have details as more than 7,000 women and youth are set to benefit from the Upper West Share Park Resource Hub project in Uwa. Also coming up, find out how poor sanitation can bring snakes into your home following a recent invasion of the residence of a popular Nigerian musician that led to her death.
When you see cockroaches in your room, you should check your sanitation, because while there are cockroaches, obviously there will be some rodents, and while there are rodents, we will be having snakes in your place.
These and more with me, Maame Esi Nyamekye Thompson. This is Joy News, independent, fearless and credible. Please stay. We start from politics. The NPP is moving to heal internal divisions following its presidential primary on Saturday, which elected former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ahead of the 2028 general elections. In the immediate aftermath of the contest, all the aspirants who participated in the race have publicly pledged their support for Dr. Bawumia, calling for unity and mutual respect as the party turns its attention to the task of regaining power. In an interview with Joy News, Chairman of the Communications Directorate of the Dr. Bawumia campaign, Nana Akomia, described the post-primary calls for unity as the most critical step towards rebuilding cohesion within the party.
The call by the contestants themselves for unity is the first step towards unity. You understand? So these are the people who have been contesting against themselves for the last 6 months, making insinuations against each other, trying all they can to show that the other person wasn't good enough. So whatever division, anxiety, tension came primarily from the context. Now, when the contestants themselves now commit themselves to come together, that is the first requirement for unity. So it is a very happy situation.
Well, Nana Akomia stressed that the responsibility now rests largely on the flag bearer to take the lead in reconciling all factions and presenting a united front to the Ghanaian electorate.
The flag bearer would take the lead in getting everybody together and present one face to the country. That's what's going to happen.
Meanwhile, Chairman of the Council of Elders for the NPP, Hackman Owusu-Agyemang, said the party's strategy to ensure unity does not matter so far as everyone works for the party. He spoke to me on Joy News Desk.
My lady, it's not a matter, there's no specific, it's a human institution. So wherever we start, that will give us the results. That's what we can do. We could say that we are starting from the so-called grassroots. Everybody is a member of the grassroots. We all belong. I belong to a constituency. I belong to a polling station. So that's the grassroots. So we all have to work together I think that what you are asking us is a strategy that we would employ. But the strategy is, for me, straightforward and simple. Whether whichever group you belong to, wherever constituency you are, police station you are, your job is to work for the advancement of the party. And I don't think there's a sort of strict laid down rule out where you start.
Well, Mr. Hackman also spoke on sharing of money during the campaign season.
The idea is, and we may be wrong, we are humans, is that when we have about 2-3 million people voting, even for these primaries, then the issue of TNT, which is tantamount to inducement, as you say, is a thing of the past. We believe that we have to keep doing and then changing our rules of procedure. This time, we try to expand the electoral college, but because a lot of them have died over the years, the figures were almost the same as it was in 2023 or whatever, last time. So it's a major problem that we have to resolve, because it's not whoever has money that must lead a party. And if it's reduced to finances or money, then we won't get the right person to lead the party. No.
Well, government says it is far advanced in establishing one of its flagship promises, the Women's Development Bank. Speaking at the official launch of the Upper West Share Park Resource Hub project in Wa, President Mahama disclosed that the Vice President, Professor Nano Jane Opoku-Agyeman, who has been leading the process, will soon present the bank's structure and objectives to Cabinet.
We also are far advanced with the establishment of the Women's Bank. The Vice President has been leading it, and they've made progress, and she hinted me that they'll soon be bringing a presentation to Cabinet to explain the structure and the objectives of the bank. This bank is going to help women to establish their businesses, and in the northern sector we know that share is one of the important industries that women participate in. And so the Women's Bank in the Upper West region is going to target mothers who are in the share nut industry. And so during the season when share nuts are being picked, they will be given small credit so that they can go into the bush and pick the nuts. They will be giving money so that as cooperatives, they can hire tricycles to take them further into the bush and pick the share nuts. And the tricycles will bring them back with the share nuts so that they don't have to carry those heavy pans on their heads anymore.
President Mahama also revealed that the Upper West Share Park Resource Hub project is expected to create about 7,000 jobs for women and youth in the Upper West region.
I want to thank my father, the Wana, for today making a declaration that we should make the chopping down of share nut trees a crime. Assemblies and the security agencies should enforce it. This hub is envisioned as a world-class phased agro-industrial ecosystem designed around sustainability, innovation and inclusion, and it will bring together modern share processing facilities for cosmetic production, for food, for nutraceuticals and the pharmaceutical markets. It will also bring together quality control laboratories, training and capacity building centers. Also included will be storage, logistics, warehousing and direct market access. At full maturity, the share park ecosystem is expected to empower over 7,000 women in the Upper West. It will support thousands of youth jobs. It will anchor value chains, not only for share, but also for associated products such as groundnuts, soya beans, sorghum, dawa, cotton, and honey.
President John Mahama there. Well, the father of a 10-year-old Basic 5 pupil of Falahiyat EA Primary School in Damongo in the Savannah region says he will pursue justice after his son was allegedly assaulted by his class teacher over poor academic performance. According to reports, the teacher ordered the boy and some of his classmates to lie on dwell desk and flog them with a wire cane. The family of the victim is now appealing to government to intervene. There's more on this report.
According to the father of the victim, Seydou Mahama, the teacher, identified as Fatawo Menaya, allegedly punished the child for scoring 2 out of 8 in a homework exercise. He claimed the teacher ordered his son to lie on a dwell desk and whipped him with a knapsack wire, causing injuries to his left hand. The victim has since undergone surgery and has been discharged, but remains under medical review. Speaking to Joy News, Mr. Mahama said he has since lodged a formal complaint with the Damongo Divisional Command of the Ghana Police Service and is determined to pursue the matter until justice is served.
I want to make sure that justice prevails for the little boy. And currently, as we stand, we are told, although we are on discharge, but we are told to be coming to the hospital every 2 days for over 2 months. So I'm therefore appealing to the general public and all stakeholders involved, Gender Ministry, civil society organizations, social welfare, Ghana Health Service, and also Ghana Police Service to assist this little boy.
New malaria vaccines have helped Ghana achieve one of its biggest public health victories in decades, slashing child deaths by more than 80%. But that progress is now under threat. International aid cuts, led by the United States and other major donors, could slow vaccine rollout and reverse gains, with experts warning that thousands of African children, including in Ghana, could lose their lives as a result. There's more in this report.
Official figures from Ghana show confirmed malaria deaths among children under 5 have dropped dramatically over the past decade, falling from 1,000 to just 35 in 2024. A key driver of this decline has been the introduction of 2 malaria vaccines alongside existing interventions such as insecticide-treated bed nets, preventive medication, and improved access to treatment. Malaria infections have also declined from approximately 6.7 million cases in 2018 to about 5.3 million in 2024. Health authorities say the vaccines have helped close the remaining gap in reducing severe illness and deaths, easing pressure on health facilities and households. Despite these gains, the progress is under threat. The Global Vaccine Alliance, Gavi, which currently supplies malaria vaccines to African countries, is facing a major funding shortfall. The organization estimates it will have nearly 30% less funding than required over the next 5 years, limiting its ability to sustain vaccine rollout. As a result, modeling by international research institutions suggests that lower vaccination coverage could lead to an additional 19,000 child deaths across Africa. Ghana, where malaria remains endemic, is among the countries that could be affected if supply or coverage is disrupted. The funding gap has been worsened by cuts to foreign aid by United States and other major donors. These reductions come at a time when malaria vaccines are still being rolled out and require multiple doses to maintain protection. Experts warn that a slowdown in vaccination could have wider consequences beyond health, including increased financial pressure on families, reduced productivity in farming communities, and renewed strain on health facilities, particularly in rural areas. The challenge now is ensuring that funding gaps do not undo hard-won gains in the fight against one of the country's deadliest diseases. Anthony Manu, Joy News Research.
The Tono and the Irrigation dams, once reliable lifelines for dry season farming in the Upper East region, are now under threat. Rising temperatures, erratic rainfall and prolonged dry spells linked to climate change are reducing water levels and disrupting carefully planned irrigation schedules. The dams are being pushed beyond what they were originally designed to handle, and farmers are constantly racing against time to avoid post-harvest losses. Albert Sori reports.
The Tono Dam, located in Navrongo in the Kasna-Nankana municipality, and the Via Dam, located in the Bongo district, have for decades sustained thousands of smallholder farmers, designed to support dry season farming and stabilize food production in one of the country's most climate vulnerable zones. Today, however, that lifeline is under increasing threat. According to the Irrigation Company of Upper Region, ICOR, which manages both facilities, Rising temperatures and erratic rainfall have made it increasingly difficult to operate the irrigation schemes as planned. Dominic Anargede is acting managing director of ICOR.
So because of rise in temperatures resulting from climate change, then the surface level of the water becomes so hot. So it is estimated that monthly basis it will lose about 2.5 million cubic meters of water just due to evaporation alone.
At the same time, climate change is driving a quieter but equally significant trend, migration toward the water sources.
At the Via Dam, for instance, it was estimated to be about 10% silted. The tunnel here is also silted because climate change has pushed some farmers to now want to farm around the buffer zone, and that also pushes some debris into the dam. We have been fighting that.
Downstream in the lowlands under the Tono irrigation scheme, farmers are facing mounting uncertainty. Some currently risk losing their crops because ICOR must halt water supply to allow for canal cleaning and maintenance ahead of the dry season farming window.
They have a calendar that will start now and end at this time. So if the farmer is not able to fall in line with the ICOR calendar, then at the time his crop will still need water. That is the time ICOR might want to carry out maintenance.
We don't start the season early. The rain pattern too, it doesn't come early, or it comes and goes off. Those are the challenges that we are facing from the project. And if it happens like that, we have low yield.
Reporting for Joy News, Albert Sorry, Tono, Upper East Region.
This story is brought to you by Joy News in partnership with CDKN Ghana, University of Ghana Center for Climate Change and Sustainability Studies, with funding from Claire R4I Opportunities Fund.
The National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat NIMAS this weekend seized a cache of weapons and ammunition from illegal miners found to have blocked mining in portions of the Butre River in the Hunter West district of the Western region. The task force also seized 16 excavators and destroyed 20 chamfans and 12 pumping machines in a renewed onslaught on illegal miners in the Western and Eastern regions at the weekend. Erastus Asare Donko has a wrap.
NIMOS initiated a major raid on illegal miners who had blocked portions of the Butre River and its tributaries, mining within the basin. The miners bolted, but a search conducted at the site, christened Agenda 111, revealed 7 pump-action guns and 12 rounds of ammunition. Some explosives found at the site were destroyed by experts on the task force. 16 excavators were seized from separate illegal mining camps in the Ahanta West and Etiwa West districts of the Eastern region. The team raided illegal mining camps at the rubber plantation at Ahanta Besiase and Abase Tumentu at Cape 3 Points. In Ahanta West, within Cape 3 Points Forest Reserve, a man who identified himself as Bright Mensa on board a white pickup with registration number GT829924, who claimed ownership of the illegal mining site, attempted to bribe the team with 20,000 cedis. He and 4 of his colleagues were arrested and handed over to the Ebra police station in the Aguna Nkwanta district. NIMOS also raided illegal mining sites at Mampon Sankubiase in the Etiwa West district, where they seized 6 excavators in illegal mining along the stream Sukoko, a tributary of the Brim River. 20 chamfan machines were burnt at Fiachi in the Ahanta West district of the Western region. NIMOS also disrupted mining along the Achem-Techiman Highway in the Eastern region. Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaredonko, Kumasi.
You're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. We've heard much about the NPP primaries, but we'll be doing an analysis of the photo votes and regional breakdown of Dr. Bawumia's performance, and also find out how poor sanitation can bring snakes into your home following a recent invasion of the residence of a popular Nigerian musician that led to her death.
When you see cockroaches in your room, when you see cockroaches in your home, you should check your sanitation. Because once there are cockroaches, obviously there will be some rodents. And once there are rodents, you will be having snakes in your place.
Welcome back to the Midday News. We have sports with Mubarak.
Maame Esi, it's been exactly 1 year since Asante Kotoko supporter Nana Pole died following acts of hooliganism during a Ghana Premier League match. Now, the incident occurred in Nswatre during a clash between Kotoko and Nswatre man. No one has been prosecuted as the case continues to linger in court. Safo Duku speaks for Asante Kotoko.
It's been a year of reflection, year of anxiety, because till date, there hasn't been any serious headway as far as the prosecution of some accused persons are concerned. Per the facts before the courts, we have been told that one person actually did that act. Till date, he has not been arrested, and that is so sad. The last adjournment was taken in view of the fact that the magistrate who has been sitting on the case has been promoted to the circuit court, and so he was not available. The implication is that he will not continue with the case. Right now, I would say that we are, in simple terms, I would say that we are at the preliminary stage of the case. You can't rule out the delay. It has been part of us, and it's quite unfortunate.
Safo Duku is the communications director for Asante Kotoko. Back to you, Maame Esi.
Thank you, Mubarak. Now, let's do more NPP primaries. Now, Minority Leader Alexander Epenyomakin has shot down raging allegations that he influenced constituents to vote for Kennedy Ohinejapong. The allegations were rift, especially on the voting day, where some constituents called out the MP over what they described as an intimidation tactic to get them to vote for Kennedy Ejapong. The minority leader has, however, in a statement on his X account, debunked the allegations. And my colleague James Aveji joins me with details. James, what does the statement say?
Maame Esi, the minority leader Epenyomakin strongly denied the allegations of misconduct during the contest, describing them as part of a calculated smear campaign by a political opponent against him. He went on to reference a video that some of these persons have pulled up where at a peace pact where he was seen clapping when a particular candidate was introduced and did not clap when another was introduced. He said this video was doctored. The minority leader insisted that he strictly complied with the Electoral Commission and party guidelines, categorically denying the claims that he was near any voting area or sought to exert undue influence on voters on the day. He explains that his presence in the constituency was limited solely to voting and lawful oversight over the process, and he ended by urging party members to reject what he called misinformation and uphold truth and transparency in the interests of the NPP.
Thank you, James Savaji. Well, let's do some analysis of the numbers with Head of Research here at Joy News, Isaac Kofieje. So, Kofi, let's start with the numbers in the Futu constituency. In the last two presidential primaries, what do the figures look like?
So, 2023 versus 2026. In fact, if you look at 2023, Kennedy Ejapong was actually had about 455 votes in that election. This year, for instance, he increases by some 30% to 644 votes. Dr. Bawumia, on the other hand, reduced from 246 votes in 2023 to 79 votes, and it's about 68% dip relative to 2023.
Well, the elected candidate, Dr. Bawumia, what do we take away from his performance on Saturday?
So, in fact, Maame Esi, we've been analyzing the data, and what we can say is that he actually gained votes in 7 regions, including the party headquarters. His biggest gain came from the Greater Accra, gained some 818 votes. Western region, 441 votes. Bono region, 327 votes. In fact, he gained votes in all 3 traditional swing regions.
All right. Thank you, Isaac Kofieje. Now, the death of a Nigerian musician after a snake bite in her bedroom has reignited concerns about the dangers of poor sanitation. Environmental health experts warn that filthy surroundings, open waste, and poor housekeeping attracts rats and mice, which in turn draw snakes into homes in search of food. Officials say many snake invasions are sanitation related and largely preventable, with reports in some cases of bites occurring even though toilets even through toilet bowls. Dr. Kingsley Kwabnamwako is a veterinary officer at the Accra Veterinary Laboratory of the Veterinary Services Directorate.
Snakes naturally need three things. That is food, shelter, and protection. And for food, they basically feed on rodents and some insects. If you are unknowingly providing these three conditions, they get attracted to your place. Now, if you have poor sanitation conditions in and around your home, it automatically invites some insects. The most common insects that is invited is the cockroach. Sometimes some species of rodents feed on these cockroaches. So you've also invited rodents, including the rats and then the mice. Snakes do feed on these rodents and some insects. So once rodents are there, the snake knows that, Jack, I have food here. So the snake then comes and then gets to be fed. Once the snake enters, the first thing that it looks for in your home is a place to hide, a very cool and moist place that will be able to provide some level of heat because they are cold-blooded animals.
Well, Dr. Kingsley Kwabnamwako also explains how residents can prevent snakes from entering their homes.
Make sure you seal vents and then openings in your home. All the vents and the openings, maybe you've bought a new AC, so there's been some drilling, there's been some electrical work, they've done some drilling and opening, especially in your roof and your ceilings. Those are some of the places that the snakes like to stay a lot. And then we have some natural repellents. An example is the snake plants. It's quite common in Ghana. If you have these snake plants in your home and around your home, it does a good job of repelling snakes, and you wouldn't have problems with snakes. And there are also some synthetic or chemical repellents that are in the agrochemical shops. So if you go to a qualified agrochemical store, or if you see a qualified pest and control person, we can recommend a good snake repellent for you.
The Accra Metropolitan Assembly has begun a major decongestion exercise in the Central Business District, targeting traders operating on pavements and unauthorized spaces. The operation, which started today, has seen AMA members move through major market areas, clearing trading activities that officials said obstruct pedestrian movement and contribute to congestion. And Michelle Latte is there for us. Michelle, what more can you report?
So today marks day 2 of the Accra decongestion exercise, and for those within the Central Business District, we've seen the Accra Mayor with his task force moving along the pavement, ensuring that all these individuals and the traders who find themselves before the red line that has been demarcated being cleared from there. So some traders have their items being seized because they are blocking the pathways that are meant for free movement. If you come to Kimbo, which is one of the areas they have visited, you'd realize that today the traffic flow is quite free because we don't have so many of them blocking the pavements or blocking the roadways. So that's what has been happening. And the Accra Mayor has equally been speaking to the traders who try to resist the attempt to clear them from these pavements. Sorry.
Thank you, Michelle, for that report. And Adobia Sari is with me in the studio to do what's trending. Adobia, what's trending?
Maame Bawumia is still trending as congratulatory messages are still pouring in for him. You have Bill, so many comments, so many people congratulating him. Of course, a few people are unhappy, but so many people are congratulating him. Also, Maame, do you remember Ebo Noah and why he was arrested?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's this hint we got that some people are calling for the arrest of men of God whose prophecy in relation to the just ended MPP presidential primaries failed. Well, Joy News conducted a poll on X, and out of the people who have voted so far, you have 76% of the people voting yes. I'll just take someone's
76.
Yeah, 76. That's a lot. Someone says from today, prophecy should be made private within your church or home. Once you make it a public declaration, be ready to face the consequences. But what do you make of all of this? Should they be arrested? You have about 6
I have no
prophets
views on this. I mean, issues of religion, and politics very divisive. So I decided
but
to.
Ebono was arrested, or he wasn't a prophet. So.
I reserve the right, to keep my opinions to myself. But some Christians, have been urged to be cautious in how they interpret prophetic messages. And lead pastor of Congress Chapel International, Prophet Emmanuel Walazi, has been speaking on this on the AM show.
Prophets are humans. Severally, prophets, God sent them to deliver messages, and they will go and they will be running. Sometimes they will say they will not say it. So we should understand that prophets are not angels. They will definitely err as humans because you have your interest. Even it is not easy for you to become a prophet. That is the thing I have to say. It takes courage, it takes discipline, and it takes boldness.
Well, on that note, we bring to an end the Midday News here on Joe 99.7 FM. I am Maame Esi Nyamekye Thompson. Up next is Living Word with Pastor Mensa Otabil.